Hey guys, and welcome back. I am here today with the co-founder of Unstoppable Domains, Brad Cam. Today we're going to be breaking down one of the biggest fundamental developments that crypto has seen, and that's the ability to actually have a domain that is tied into everything crypto. We're going to be talking about Unstoppable Domains, what they are, who they are, why they are, and how you can get an unstoppable domain for yourself. Brad, thank you very much for coming on the channel. How are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. Well, Brad, you are one of the co-founders of Unstoppable Domains. It's a huge name in the space. Everybody who is anybody in crypto has been buying these things up left, right, and center lately. You know, .com, that was the big thing in the 90s. Unstoppable Domains with .crypto, .bitcoin, .x, .zil. This is the next era of domain speculating and domain, land acquisition. There's a huge movement going on that you guys have kicked off here. I'd really love to start our conversation by hearing a little bit about your story and then how that story ties in with the story of Unstoppable.
Sure. So I'm an entrepreneur from Atlanta, moved to San Francisco in 2012 to work on a startup, marketing tech startup, nothing to do with crypto. But I moved into this kind of crazy hacker house called 20 Mission. It was a 40-person co-living building. Everyone's sharing one set of bathrooms. It was pretty intense. But it was a crazy early crypto hub. And so there were Bitcoin meetups happening in the basement as early as 2012. There was a Bitcoin exchange that was launched in the basement in 2013. There was a Bitcoin media channel operating out of the basement in 2013. Everybody I met was in some way, shape, or form involved in crypto at that time. And I went down the rabbit hole. I think it was mid 2013, started buying Bitcoin, read the white paper, had that kind of typical light bulb, crypto light bulb moment. Couldn't stop thinking about it. Working on a marketing tech SaaS company, but every night I'm reading about Bitcoin and reading about crypto. And so I knew I would eventually go and do something in this world. I didn't come from the finance side of things. I studied politics in school, and I even went to DC for a very short period of time to work and realized that there was like no hope for change there. And when I saw crypto, I thought, wow, there's actually like a way to put people back in control. I didn't know what to do with that idea. I just knew it was big. Fast forward to 2017, good friend of mine, Matt Gould, who I've worked with previously, came up with this idea of putting identity on the blockchain, and founded the company in January of 2018. And I started working, I stepped back to the board of my previous company and started working on it a few months after. But that idea of identity on the blockchain had actually been floating around in crypto land since probably 2011. I remember going to meetups where people were talking about it, and it wasn't if, it was just how. Like, people just assumed eventually, of course, you're going to want to secure your identity with a blockchain. And Matt came up with the how in 2017, and that's how Unstoppable got started.
Well, that's an incredible story. That's amazing. That's something that we've been talking about, as you said, for a decade. Hoskinson came out, I believe it was in 2013, at his TED Talk, talking about this huge problem that billions of people face. Identity is non-existent in a large portion of the world, and where it is existent, it's in a centralized capacity. We talk about all the time on our channel this concept of financial sovereignty, taking back your financial control and sovereignty and authority from the powers that be, who have their best interest at heart. Why not have the sovereignty in your own hands, because you have your best interest at heart? And identity sovereignty is very, very similar. Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and Unstoppable help with both of those things. But let's talk a little bit about the DNA of Unstoppable. Not only what are you guys, because the audience obviously needs to know what Unstoppable Domains are for the two people who haven't heard your name before, but also why is Unstoppable Domains? Forgive the bad grammar. It's for the sake of the being poetic, I suppose. Why is Unstoppable? What is your mission? What is your vision? Why did you guys decide to do what you're doing in the first place?
Yeah, well, we believe that you should own your identity, and that you should own your data online. And this is kind of a superpower of blockchains. And so what we created were domain names, which are NFTs. They're stored by you, and they're like your username for Web3. So in Web 1, Web 2, you got your email addresses, you've got your social media handles, you've even got phone numbers. All of these things are like your usernames that are controlled by these giant companies. And in Web3, you're going to have a username that you control that's an NFT stored inside of your wallet called an NFT domain. And you're going to point that to all sorts of things. It's going to be your DM messaging channel. It's going to be your payment address. You can send me money to brad.crypto right now, for example. And it's also going to be like your username when you log into apps. It's going to do all of these things, just one domain.
That's incredible. And it ties into this whole idea of sovereignty beautifully. I mean, that's exactly what you just said. Why? Because, well, we believe that people should have, sovereignty and control over their own identity online. That's a big concept. That's part of the concept that's propelled, Cardano to $30 billion in market cap. Ethereum sitting at 300 or whatever it is at right now. Decentralized identity is a big component of that, and that's what you guys are leading the way in. In fact, I'd call you guys trailblazers, and I don't say that to flatter you. I'm serious. Like when we're trying to build Web3 and decentralized identification, one of the main things that you need is that username feature. That you have to have that digitally. We had usernames before the internet came along. It was your first and your last name. You have to have some kind of identification, and you guys are one of the first large scale commercially viable ways that has been done. And I think that's a huge deal. So can you talk to us a little bit more about why should people have this domain? In the real world, in the governmental world, we have our first, middle, and last name. Online, like you said, we have our phone number. We have, back in the government world, we have Social Security, we have email, we have usernames. Why should we have a decentralized identification like what you can get through unstoppable domains?
So you have a lot of problems. You have a crypto problem, which is that it's hard to receive money. So you have all these crazy long addresses. So that's like a very specific issue. And then you've got all of these regular internet problems where you don't own your username. Twitter can just turn you off or whatever, and it doesn't work across all of your apps. So you're gonna have one username that works across all of your apps. So you can build up this reputation, and you can move around on the internet with your data. You can own your data instead of apps owning your data, and just give them access to it or access to proofs of it. The way that Facebook makes money is that they sell your data. In this future Web3 world, you're going to be interacting directly with apps, and you're the one who gets to sell the data because you own it, or not sell it because you want to protect it. It's going to change the entire power structure, the way that a user interacts with apps.
That is so huge. And that, like I said, that goes back to that concept of sovereignty, having your own control. That's really the underpinning of what is Web3, is taking back control and putting it in our hands. I keep drilling on that in all the content we make, because that really is the essence of what we're doing. We're taking back sovereignty through Bitcoin over interest rates and inflation. We're taking back sovereignty over our finances through decentralization. We're taking back sovereignty over our digital identity through things and products and services like unstoppable domains. So can you give us some examples of some people that have, used unstoppable domains that's been beneficial for them, and what are some of the use cases for these unstoppable domains?
Yeah, well, there's hundreds of thousands of owners of domains. Payments is one of the largest. You can just simply receive crypto, just like a handle, like your Venmo handle. You can just send money to brad.crypto across dozens of different apps. And the other really big emerging use case is logging into dApps, and then being able to communicate with the dApp after you log in. So you're able to share information with the app. The app is able to give you a special reward based on who you are. So login and payments. And we think that identity is identity is strongest when you have all these use cases together. When you can send me a message to the same username that you can send me money, and I can log in with the same username that I'm using to receive money. The fact that it has multiple use cases like this actually makes it safer, because I can build up reputation across all of these different areas. It's actually better to have it do multiple things than to have it do just one thing.
That's a really good point. Well, let me ask you this. What are like the three biggest hesitations that somebody would have to using an unstoppable domain? Obviously, one of them is probably, hey, this is new technology. I don't know how to use this. What would you say some of the biggest hurdles are for people that might be tempted to use an unstoppable domain, but choose not to for one reason or another? And then how would you answer those hurdles?
Yeah, so I think that the reason not to is just fear of new tech. I think that it's actually easier than the way it works for sending crypto now. So I think that once we're sending crypto, if you're already sending crypto, this is easier. There's a setup cost, but that's like 30 seconds of your time, and you get to be one of the early adopters of the way that the new internet's going to work. So I think that's the benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Brad, I really appreciate everything you said. Can you just give us some final thoughts on, why people should go ahead and adopt unstoppable domains? Because I think this is the next. I think in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, even now, everybody's going to be using these. What are some of your final selling points for going ahead and getting involved in this now, especially rather than later?
I mean, I think NFT domains are the future. They're the future of identity. There's a scarcity, so you have a name that you're excited about. Somebody else can get that name, and there's only one of it. And so that's the reason to go early. And I think that that's one of the dynamics that domain name systems have, is that people want to go in early, and that actually helps them grow really fast. So one of the reasons why I think we grew so fast over the past 3 years is because of that dynamic, because people see the clear benefit of being early, but you're also just you're gonna learn a ton about the way that the future internet's gonna work, and it's gonna change what you do online.
Well, Brad, I really appreciate you coming on. Where can we find Unstoppable Domains, and how would somebody go about getting one?
Go to unstoppabledomains.com. That's the easiest thing, and follow us at Unstoppable Web on Twitter. That's the way to stay informed on what's going on.
Boom, there you go. Brad, thank you so very much for your time. Any final thoughts, any closing thoughts? I appreciate it, and then we'll wrap out.
No, this is great. Thanks so much for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Brad. Take it easy. Hey, before we go, just want to tell you a story that Nick, one of the business developers at Unstoppable, told me. He told me that somebody actually went on Unstoppable, bought business.crypto, went and sold it on OpenSea for 39 Ethereum. So there's a lot of good deals to get over here, a lot of great money-making opportunities, and there's a land grab going on right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly how to buy an Unstoppable domain so that you can lock down your name and your domain today. So you're going to go to unstoppabledomains.com. This is where you are going to find everything that you need. You can even scroll down here, see all the applications, how to use your Unstoppable domain with everything from Coinbase, Chainlink, Cloudflare, Bitcoin.com, MyEther Wallet, The Graph, OKX, OpenSea, etc. OpenSea is especially important since these domains are NFTs. You're going to want to go right up here to domains, domain search, and then it'll take you over here. And as you can see, this is the domain that we want to purchase, P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way. You can come down here and change everything from the ending. So .x, .crypto, .coin, .wallet, .bitcoin, .888, .nft, .dao, .zil, blockchain. This is coming soon. So be on the lookout for all of these different ways that you can buy your domain. You're just going to go right over here and click continue to cart. Before we do, take note, all domain purchases are a one-time payment. Unstoppable domains have no renewal fees, and it's completely decentralized. So you don't pay a fee to ICANN or anybody like you will with .com or .biz or .org. You pay no renewal fee because this is an NFT that you can move around just like a piece of art. As an NFT, it is protected. There are no renewal fees. It's completely decentralized. You have total sovereignty over it. You come right down here, hit add to cart. Then you can go right on over here and hit continue to cart. From there, you'll want to say whether or not you live in the United States, add your zip code, then you can hit checkout. Then you can either check out with Crypto.com, with cryptocurrency, with PayPal, or with a credit card. You can figure out the rest from there. They'll have you make an account. Then you'll be able to send that Unstoppable domain over to a wallet, and everything else will be explained on the website. So guys, if you have not gotten an Unstoppable domain with your name, you're missing out. You need to do it. Check the link down below. Oh, by the way, we do currently have a promo right here. As you can see, if you buy $50 in domains, you will get a $25 reward in promo credits. If you buy $250, you'll get $125 in promo credits. If you buy $500, you will get $400 in promo credits. So go buy some domains, get some credits, buy some more on the cheap, and maybe try and flip them. You can make a lot of money, like that guy that bought business.crypto for basically nothing, maybe $100, turned around and flipped it for 39 ETH, worth about $80,000. So go on here, try and make some money, secure your spot in the Web3 ecosystem, because these are going fast. And eventually, you're only going to be able to get some really convoluted username because everything else has already been bought up. Get in early. Check it out today. Peace.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Also, comment down below so we can continue to give you the best videos possible. Peace.